After a rocky start to the 2023 season, Mahomes was finally looking human on the football field. He wasn't the same Mahomes as previous seasons, questioning if he could still play at that level. But as GOATs do in any sport, Mahomes rose to the occasion and won his third Super Bowl in 5 years, all before the age of 29. In the media, all we've heard is, has Mahomes reached GOAT status yet?
Start with you. Did Mahomes prove he's the GOAT with that performance last night?
Patrick Mahomes is very much on his way to making a legitimate run at being the greatest of all time.
I don't know. Are we already at the point where it's just Brady and Mahomes?
Here in this video, I'll break down each season of Mahomes' career and answer the question of, has Mahomes broken the GOAT barrier? Patrick Mahomes was drafted 10th overall in the 2017 NFL Draft, but was the backup to Alex Smith his first year. The Chiefs traded Alex Smith to the Redskins that following season, and in his first year starting in 2018, Mahomes threw for 5,097 yards, 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and won MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. He was the first quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns in the same season since Peyton Manning, and he did it in his first season as a starter. After the regular season, Mahomes took the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game and lost to Tom Brady and the soon-to-be champion Patriots. Mahomes took the Chiefs to the best record in the AFC and was one win away from the Super Bowl, but he lost to the GOAT. How ironic. Every player with GOAT status has a story, and the passing of the torch story was set in place. In 2019, Mahomes had a bit of a down year compared to last year, but it was enough to prove that his first season wasn't a fluke, and he really is one of the best in the league. Mahomes threw for 4,031 yards, with 26 touchdowns and 5 picks, but his impact was made outside of the stat sheet. He led the Chiefs to the Super Bowl against the 49ers and took home the Super Bowl MVP after beating them 31-20, being the second black quarterback to do so. At this point, Mahomes is 24 years old with an NFL MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl MVP. The last player with that resume was nobody. Mahomes is now on the trajectory of greatest football player to ever play, but he still has some work to do. COVID year comes around, and Mahomes shows a different level to his game, like he was looking to make that next step. He threw for 4,740 yards, with 38 touchdowns and a crazy 6 picks. That kind of touchdown ratio with yard total, it would assume Mahomes would get a second MVP, but Aaron Rodgers had an even crazier season that saw him win it. Nonetheless, Mahomes did Mahomes things and led the Chiefs to the #1 seed and another Super Bowl appearance, but again, lost to Tom Brady in the playoffs. That's 3 years straight that Mahomes' only losses in the playoffs are to Tom Brady. I know we said the passing of the torch was coming along, and this was supposed to happen Super Bowl 55, but I guess not. It's still going to take some time for that to happen. Fans are now back in the stands, and Mahomes is back to destroying NFL defenses in 2021. Mahomes had 4,839 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions, a similar season to the last one. The Chiefs finished with the tied best record in the AFC and made it to the AFC Championship game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Everyone thought the Chiefs would make their third straight Super Bowl, but Joe Burrow had other plans, being the only other quarterback not named Tom Brady to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. Remember when I said all GOATs have a story? This is the story that Mahomes has to overcome, learning how to make that next step against these great quarterbacks. We saw him win a Super Bowl already, but that was against Jimmy Garoppolo, who doesn't compare to Tom Brady or Joe Burrow. This got people questioning, was that first Super Bowl a fluke? Mahomes took the criticisms of the last season and fueled that fire even more. The Chiefs got rid of their top wide receiver in Tyreek Hill, and it looked like their offense wouldn't be as potent as before. But as the GOATs do, they rise to the occasion. Mahomes had his best season to date, throwing for 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 picks, and won his second MVP of his career. The Chiefs, of course, finished with the best record in the AFC, but the playoffs were something else. Mahomes had a lingering ankle injury that he hurt in the first playoff game, but he didn't let that stop his legacy. The Chiefs beat the Jaguars, ended their 3-game losing streak against the Bengals.
Oh, your roll and shut your mouth, you jabroni! You gotta fight for your right to party!
And faced the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And after all the doubts before the season of can Mahomes make that extra step, he pulls through and wins his second Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. With the 2022 season concluded, there was nobody doubting this statement. Mahomes is the best player in the league, and it's not even close. But Mahomes having the mentality he does, he's not satisfied with that. He's looking to be the best player to ever play. Now we come to the NFL season that just passed. Every NFL fan expected the Chiefs to continue their dominance, but the script had something else written down. The Chiefs struggled throughout the season, with receivers dropping 33 passes the whole season, the most from any team. They had a 9-6 record after week 16, and they looked like a normal playoff team. But as the Chiefs announcer said it best,
You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs.
the Chiefs beat the dynamic Dolphins offense, arguably his biggest rival in Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, and the MVP Lamar Jackson and the one-seeded Baltimore Ravens to head to the Super Bowl. Mahomes and the Chiefs were looking to be the first team to go back-to-back since, you guessed it, Tom Brady and the Patriots in 2003-2004. Going against the stacked 49ers team, Mahomes led his team to arguably the greatest Super Bowl of all time and won his third Super Bowl and MVP. Now we come to the conversation of, is Mahomes a part of the GOAT conversation? Before we talk about Patrick Mahomes, let's determine what the standards are for somebody to be labeled as the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan and LeBron James for basketball both dominated from the start, led their team to multiple championships, and set records. Babe Ruth for baseball dominated for so long and won for his team. Even Tom Brady dominated as soon as he got his shot and took over the entire league. What do all these guys have in common? They're winners, have the stats and records to prove it, and overcome adversity that's thrown at them. At this point in Mahomes' career, he's done those things and more. Winning, check. Adversity, check. Setting records, check. But Mahomes still has a lot of work to do, as he has to chase Brady's 7 rings and 5 Super Bowl MVPs. This will all come with time, but Mahomes is definitely in that conversation after this season. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.